Okay, mic levels look good. So, yeah, kind of happy about that. Actually gonna bring it a little bit closer. And hopefully I'll be okay. Get some music going. How are we doing tonight, guys? How are we doing tonight, everyone? Just, yeah, a little bit new desk setup. We're gonna listen to some relaxing music. If Spotify will ever work. There we go. So Voldoon. And all the I can do a lot of world quests tomorrow. I'm not too worried about today. The only ones I'm worried about today are the ones that I can't do tomorrow. So Najatar. Pearls. Let's go ahead and get one of our followers. Ugh, I don't know how long I'm gonna last actually, because of this migraine. We'll see though. I'm hoping it'll last for a while. We're gonna grab all these. We're not gonna do them all. We just missed an obscene number of kills.
We wanted to think of ourselves as shackled.
The Naga have summoned an enormous beast from the depths. Slay it before it can reach our encampment.
So, hopefully this thing is almost dead. Oops. Oh gosh. Okay.
The Naga have summoned an enormous beast from the depths. Slay it before it can reach our encampment.
I'm trying to play a little bit more with my mouse. So that way, hopefully I can have a little bit less strain on my wrist. I'm still feeling out where the buttons are. I definitely have been having too many repetitive stress issues on my hand, so anything I can do to alleviate that is going to be a plus. So let's do that. Actually, let's go ahead and actually try to do some burst. So that means there. Yeah, you know, this isn't terrible. And it's a little more relaxing on my wrist, which is good. I don't know how it's looking on screen. This is, I mean, it's buggy as hell for me. If it makes you feel any better. Ugh. Fortunately, like, just doing my standard rotation, not too hard. I think a lot of what I can do to improve is... That might be okay.
We will
I mean, that seriously, I think it's better than what I've got. Yeah, almost positive it is. I'll run the Sims and verify, but I think we just unintentionally got an upgrade. Oops, running too far away.
Seize those supplies. Don't let the Naga
I was just doing it to
have
do
any
it.
advantage.
So, sitting like this, I think my wrist is already a little bit better. And that's pretty cool. Actually, I gotta check my stream real quick and see if I'm actually streaming and not just hosting again. Because that's what was happening yesterday. Okay, cool. We are live. I want to get a new computer build going. I think next paycheck I'll shell out and I'll do it. I'm still gonna have this computer, but I might get a second case or something like that. And throw all this stuff into a different case. I know it sounds kind of like a bit much, but I think that would be a good thing to do. Just have a backup computer. Maybe I'll get just a low-end SSD for it or something like that. I don't know what I'd use it for, because I don't want to make it. I don't want to make a stream box. I could. I mean, I could just have a test-bench stream box. You know what? Also onto the parts and the motherboard, and just have it as a hot swap if I need to. Nothing wrong with that.
Najara has been terrorizing the seas since the days when my shell was shiny. It's about time someone stood up to her.
Thanks, Toki.
How can I be of help? Be careful out there.
Kelp grass is one of our most useful resources here in Najatar.
Oh god, I'm having troubles just trying to figure out what I'm trying to do here. This migraine is not good. But I'm trying to train myself to use my MMO mass again, at least for standard rotation stuff. I think I can take a lot of the stress off my keyboard hand, at least for now, because that seems to be the hand in worse condition. Yeah. See? Almost all with my mouse there. Just take any strain off my hand. I just gotta remember what order all the buttons are in. I know world quests are like very engaging and fun gameplay to watch, but unfortunately, yeah, the good and bad is that's what the game is right now, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy a fair amount of these world quests. They're not unfun. Ah, I mean, they're still relatively new, so I don't hate them. How's about that? I did not participate in it, and I don't care. So we got benthic gauntlets we can pick up. And I can actually do that on all my alts. And try for the good gauntlets. Now, I don't think they're going to be better than 440 with a socket. But they might be, and that's... Unfortunately, that's the crazy thing. Anything else I can do while I wait for this thing to spawn? You know, I gotta switch out my stream key at some point. I don't need to be streaming on YouTube anymore. As much as I like YouTube, it's just... there we go, done. I'm only streaming to Twitch now. Now granted it's through restream, but... It's not gonna kill me one way or the other. I just want this thing to spawn. Oof, cool. Yeah, we rearranged the desk, feeling a little bit better about everything. Trying to stay a little bit more relaxed in my chair. I don't know how well it's working, but it's working. Yeah. A bit of a headache. I think it's just sinus related. We're dealing with some thunderstorms and a lot of pressure changes, and the leash on these maps is very long. Are they ever gonna go away? Shoot. Go away from Neri. Now Caldorn is in trouble? Whatever. Caldron. That's his vanilla name. Kept the same damn pet.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Right now, I'm seeing a lot of people... Okay, so here... Real quick, here's the problem that we're all having with traits, is that the traits in the raid suck. Like, the gear from the raid does not have great traits on it. Ideally, you'd want 3 cascading calamities, like I have gotten on this. Ideally, you want 3 cascading calamities, and you want 3 racking brilliances. Those are still the best. If you're not doing progression, you'd want to be running Undulating Tide, but the damage stops proccing if your health drops below 50%, which happens fairly often. So for progression, you can't really rely on it. But yeah, I would say 3 Cascading Calamity, 3 Racking Brilliance would be the best. If you have to switch some in, Inevitable Demise is not a bad one to swap in there. There are plenty of fights where having the heal is actually really nice, and it can line up with plenty of raid-wide damage to help your healers out. I'm currently running 3 Inevitable Demise just because that's kind of what I've gotten. Ideally, I'd be running 3 Cascading, 3 Racking. Oh, okay. If you're just doing... Yeah, sorry about that. I just saw the Mythic. I'm going to blame my migraine there. honestly, for doing Mythic Plus, I would say Demo's the best. And then you'd want to run 3 Baleful. If you really like Affliction and just want to be running Affliction in them, especially this week where it's Tyrannical and Affliction's pretty good on bosses, Inevitable Demise all the way. You will just crush bosses at 50 stacks. Like, if there's a mob that needs to die, you just save your Inevitable Demise stacks for it, and you will melt its face. Let me see if I can get some stacks up while I'm just doing this quest. And then I can hopefully show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, there we go, 50 stacks. So, just putting Haunt UA on this thing, draining it, 40k, 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 and it's full heals. Like, let's look at what Drain did on that right there. 157k in what? Less than 4 seconds? Like, you can do some insane burst damage running Drain trait. Especially if any ad in a group needs to die, an emissary needs to die. That's awesome. Right now, for Demo, Baleful is the best, and you just kind of like pump big tyrants. But if you like Affliction, play Affliction, man. It's still really good, especially on Tyrannical weeks. Demo's okay too right now. Or Destro, yeah, Destro's okay too right now. Demo's not too far ahead of it. So if you like Destro also, don't be afraid to play that. Hopefully I'll be getting some, I think Heroic Operation Mecha will be happening soon. Don't know if it will. Actually, I might be getting some arenas in if I'm feeling good. I think Demo's a very rewarding spec, and if you like it, play with it. If it's just an alt and you're just kind of worried about getting in groups and getting the runs out of the way, do what you like. But I think Demo's a very fun spec to play. I probably have the most fun with it. I think it's the most engaging. Affliction's really fun, though. It's like juggling plates, is how I describe it to people. Or spinning plates, not juggling plates. That would be crazy. It's like spinning plates. I have my Discord. Mindy might want to chat about some stuff.
Yo.
That was fast. Just right as I joined in.
Yeah, I checked a second ago.
Oh.
But, yeah, so this should be good.
Nice. Yeah.
Apparently my guild wasn't serious about starting with Queen yesterday, because that was a joke.
Oh, okay. Just a weird joke.
Yeah, I was just like, huh. So.
Yeah, good that you guys don't extend. It's not worth extending at any point. Most of the time, these things are gear checks to make up for ability.
Right. So, we're supposed to do Mythic Progression tonight, and I don't plan to go. So, I don't think it's gonna be Progression, I think it's gonna be Mythic Skull Crushing.
Yeah. I might have a Heroic, or a hard mode Operation Mecha for us tonight.
That'd be great.
We'll see. My guild's tank, the one we did, the regular one with Monk, he was talking about doing it on Discord during the day. Okay. He said like maybe within half an hour from now. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a migraine, so I am drugged up, and I did call up my doctor and used your recommendations, and I was like, I want these things.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, well, hopefully that helps you.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm okay, but I'm definitely not 100%. So I might pass on arenas tonight.
Well, I don't even know where Raxia is right now, so.
Gotcha. But, like, of course I don't care about things like Mythic Plus.
Right.
Also, I've been dealing with some wrist pain lately.
Okay.
I think I've had just a bad setup on my my computer. Like, I think just my wrists have not been aligned properly, so I went through a bunch of ergonomic stuff today at work and lowered my desk, readjusted my chair height and everything, and so far so good.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that helps me out some.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, on top of everything else that we do, like, and being on my computer at home all the time, on my computer all the time at work too.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact same way. So, I mean, I get it. I work a long day. Like, I left work. I think I worked 14 hours today, so...
Damn, dude.
Typing all day. Yeah, just stupid, like, really unclear procedure for this one tax. I mean, it's really boring. It's just stupid stuff related to doing taxes for yogurt companies. But yeah, it's really set up poorly, and someone changed a bunch of shit on me without telling me, and I had no clue what anything was. So I had to do it like 5 times. It was a pain in the ass.
Lame. I'm sorry.
It's
That's
not a big deal.
frustrating.
Like, part of me almost is like, it's nice to at least have something that was like moderately challenging at work. Like, I had to,
For
problems and I had to figure it out.
sudden onset isn't a great
9 out
trait.
of 10 times, it's literally just.
It's useful, but I don't consider it like great. You don't really need them.
Yeah,
So
I mean, but
don't
I live in my computer too. So I get it.
don't feel like you need to push for sudden onset. I'd really just put for racking brilliance, if you can. Racking brilliance, inevitable demise. Racking brilliance isn't terrible, but like as you go up in keys, your dots are gonna last long enough anyway that sudden onset's bonus isn't like gonna be as useful. Because if mobs are gonna die long enough for 10 stacks to just happen, then you don't have to worry about it.
Did your doctor have any comments on those medications?
She said, yeah, she's heard about him. She hasn't done a whole lot of research into him because my doctor also gets migraines, but hers are not as bad.
Yeah, my sister has.
I'd say get
she's had them
3
on
if you
basically
can.
her whole
Get
life.
3 inevitable demise, 3
So,
racking
it's
brilliance
like
if you
my
can.
dad's, like,
Just any combo of
trying
racking,
to help her with that.
racking brilliance,
Those two, like,
cascading
she tried
calamity,
a
inevitable
lot of them,
demise.
you know,
As many of whatever combo of those you can get is gonna be
She
worth
was
it.
on a lot of different ones, and then she tried Botox, which helped her a fair amount. And then those ones, the ones that I recommended to you, really, they made a big difference. So.
Yeah, like just the attitude of that text was like, yeah, okay, this sounds like a winner then.
Yeah, that was. My dad feels very strongly about that topic, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get them, yeah, then
Yeah,
you.
no, I mean, my sister really has. It's really been a debilitation for her. So.
Yeah. I was also thinking about seeing if I can get my my stuff to pay for Botox, just so that way I could be a little bit more vain about my life.
I mean, I don't think the Botox actually does anything. It's like all.
All in your scalp, yeah. I don't. It doesn't do
Exactly.
anything.
But I mean, you can joke with people about it for sure.
Dude, there was one girl at my office. She was like very. I don't know if you know much about the DC area, but like very bougie Georgetown. Like,
I mean,
like
I'm
she.
familiar with Georgetown. I went to college.
Yeah, just a very rich area. Like,
Okay.
just her. Basically, she's like the villain in every '80s college movie because her dad is like the dean at a college.
Gotcha. Is he really like actually?
Yeah,
dean of the
like
college?
he's the
He's
dean of the law
Georgetown.
school at George Mason actually, but
Okay.
yeah, but
not quite Georgetown, but still.
close enough, yeah. And but she's like 25 and she was getting Botox for her crow's feet. I was like,
Yeah,
what are
I
you
mean-
doing, girl? And she's like, oh, I just want to look nice. And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
I mean, I don't want to work my whole life. Gotta,
I guess.
you know.
I don't know if the Botox is gonna fix that for her. Heyo.
I don't.
Nah, I think she could do fine if she wanted to.
I mean, that would be pretty awkward if someone was like kind of overweight and not the best looking, and then they're like trying to get cosmetic surgery on top of that.
Yeah, it's like my sister. Me and my sister do not have a good relationship.
Hey, neither do I. So.
Yeah. She is beyond spoiled and like still like kind of living in Arrested Development. So she's a year younger than me, and my parents pay for the 2-bedroom house that she rents out in Kentucky that she lives in. Like she doesn't pay for anything on her own really. And And she likes to claim that she does because she's living on her own. And anytime she has any issues, basically my parents fly out to Kentucky to help her with something.
Yeah, that sounds very similar to my sister.
Yeah.
She's 24. She, I mean, basically just keeps going back to college for
Oh, mine too.
random degrees. But,
Yep.
you know, they're basically all degrees. You know, they're essentially underwater basket degrees.
Yep.
Yeah, and then whenever she tried to get her to do anything, you know, remotely family-oriented, she's just really just mean and nasty to everyone.
Yep.
No, and I understand she does have headaches, but that has been her reason for being an asshole to everyone at every stage of her life. And there's a certain point where you're like, okay, maybe you're just kind of a nasty person.
Yeah. See, when I get my bad migraines, I will go through like some mood swings and stuff, but I'm also like aware that it's going on so I can tell people.
Yeah. You know, I think a really good story about my sister was she was still in high school right now, so she was like maybe 17. I was like 20 or so. I was home from college for like a winter break or something. A bunch of her friends show up at the house, and my father had like he got out of it. He did have a heart attack like a month earlier.
Okay.
So you know, so she goes to me and she goes, "Hey Jack, I want you and your, you know," she didn't ask me. She just goes, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, I know that she had all her friends there." It's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing tonight?" She goes, "Oh, we're going to this town like 50 minutes away from here." I'm like, "Oh, well, have fun." She goes, "Oh yeah, you have to drive us there." I'm like,
Not like can you, but you have to.
No. I think her exact wording was, "Yeah, you're driving us." It was, and I was just like, "Yeah, no. You know, it's Friday night. I'm not spending my whole night driving. I mean, 50 minutes there, 50 minutes back, and then get back, and then 4 hours later? No." And she kind of just sighed, and she goes, "Really? You're really gonna make me do this? You're really gonna make me go to Dad, who just had a heart attack, and you know, have him, you know, get upset over this?" So, like, wow, you're really an evil person.
My sister had just finished high school, and when I was in high school, I had to drive my dad's '89 Volvo. I had to like drop him off at work about an hour away if I wanted it for the day, and I'd have to pick him up after school and everything if I wanted the car. You know, the whole thing. So when she finished high school, my parents bought her a Mercedes. I mean,
What?
it's not like I mean, they dropped like 30 grand on it. It's not like it was some super expensive one, but it was still like 30 grand they dropped and gave it to her.
Yeah.
And I was pissed. I was livid about it, and I was complaining this, you know, whatever. And I was complaining to her about it at one point. I was like, "Why the fuck do they, you know, do they do this for you?" And blah blah. And she just kind of smirked and smiled and said, "I always get what I want." And then she just walked away. And I was like, "That's her. That is her as a person."
Yeah. Sounds pretty frustrating, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, you know, Christmas. I'm like, hey, you know, we're gonna go. You know, my parents are separated, so we do Christmas at each house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, you know, my girlfriend was up there for Christmas this year, and we're like, all right, we're gonna leave in like, you know, 20 minutes. I'll be ready. You know, she takes 2.5 hours. Just, you know, just not really annoying. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone who thinks the world revolves around them, and they've had enough reinforcement of that.
The only time she'll ever talk to to me or anyone in the family is if she needs something or wants something.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just a bundle of joy.
Yep. Yay. We have similar experiences.
Yep.
She's the kind of person who like the area I live in is very expensive, and
DC area, that's
yeah, I make good money, but like I can't buy a $700,000 house. Like, if it was my budget, just me, like maybe if I splurged and went house poor, I could do like 500, 550.
Nice. Okay.
But like that's not great in the DC area. That doesn't get you too much. Like maybe a half decent townhouse. And I mentioned this at one point because my family's like, "When are you gonna buy? When are you gonna buy?" And I'm like, "Well, it doesn't make sense for me too because I move a lot, and at the same time, like that's my budget." And they're like, "What are you talking about? That can get you an amazing house in the area, and you can afford way more than that." And I was like, "Just because you know how much, like you clearly don't have the concept of how real money works. if that's what you think.
Sister telling you that, or that was your parents?
My sister and my mom to an extent, because they get in their little witches circle.
Yeah, I mean, housing in that area is it's not cheap.
Nope.
But then again, if you look at Kentucky or a lot of areas in the South, I mean.
Oh yeah, Texas. Oh man, I lived in Dallas for a while, and then I moved to Denver, and Denver's like getting pricier, but it's still not too bad. And one of my buddies, he's like bought a house for 400, really nice house, 3-car garage, 2,500 square feet, kind of a little bit out in nowhere, and really nice place. And I was like, dude, if you want to feel terrible about yourself, look at this area of Dallas. It's just like a nice suburb. It's not the boonies. It's not super far out. And, you basically get like 5,000 square feet built in the last 5 years.
Yep. No, I'm basically consigned to the fact that I'm gonna. I mean, whenever I want a house, I just need to. Probably need to earn more because I make a decent living, but it's not really. I mean, a basic house is about $500,000 here.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I nearly took a job up in New York, and I was looking at like maybe I could buy in like Bergen County or something.
That's actually where I live.
Oh, there you go. My mom went to Garfield High.
Garfield High. Okay, I've driven through Garfield a lot. Or taken the train through Garfield a lot. But
it's
yeah,
my cousin lives there still, and that's
what town?
in Garfield.
Oh, in Garfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where I grew up, and where I'm currently living. It's a good area, but
What exit?
expensive. The Parkway. Well, if you're taking the Parkway, you would go to Paramus. So you take the Parkway to Paramus, which is 163, and then from there you'd go like 17 or a few miles into Route 17. I don't know. The town's Upper Saddle River.
Okay. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the area. I just know people from Jersey love to ask each other what exit.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. So, it's yeah. It's I'm not right off the Parkway, so the 163 would be where you would answer.
Gotcha.
That would be.
Gotcha.
Have any advantage.
Yeah. It's cool. But
I like
it's
Jersey.
shit.
Summon an enormous beast from the depths. Slay
I think Jersey's gonna get down in prices though, because a lot of people are leaving because of the tax law changes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping there's just a housing market crash.
Well, I've noticed like a lot of companies have been pulling out of New York, at least in the television industry.
That makes sense.
Like NBC is pretty much outside of like the 30 Rock studio. Just so you know, 30 Rock, because 30 Rockefeller Plaza.
Okay.
That's
a TV show that's like, pretty popular, right?
Yeah. And it's because the NBC headquarters is 30 Rockefeller Plaza.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And the headquarters is still there technically, but just about everything now is in Englewood Cliffs.
Cliffs, okay.
It's right across the river in Jersey. So, and all the sports stuff got moved out from 30 Rock to Stamford, Connecticut. And like,
Connecticut's not that much cheaper.
it's not, but it must be a tax law thing or something, because a lot of people have moved out to that area.
Makes sense. I mean, the big issue with New Jersey taxes, or the tax law change, is just that if you're in a high, you used to be able to deduct your, state income tax paid from your federal income taxes, and but now you can't. So if you pay a lot in state income tax, you pay a lot more tax than you used to.
Gotcha.
And that's basically it. It's the whole. But in a lot of cases, it's significant money. Like let's just say you do make like $1 million. Or let's make you make like $1 million a year or something. Then you'd be paying roughly $100,000 in state income tax. That would be a deduction of let's say you're in the highest tax rate, like 40,000 or 39%.
Yep.
So 39% of $100,000 ends up being $40,000 is a mortgage in a lot of places.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the reason for what I'm hoping will be an exodus of people with money, leaving nothing but poor people here, which will mean they'll have to sell their houses. And
Yeah. And the housing prices will go down.
Yep. hopefully there's panic, you know, and all sorts of fun shit will happen.
I was reading something kind of fun about at least the DC area, because a lot of this area was built up in like the 50s and 60s, just after World War II, basically, and a lot of the people who originally bought a lot of these houses or have owned them for a while are a lot of the boomer generation, and they felt, you know, oh, a house is a good investment, you know, the shit everyone likes to sell you on, and all of them are finding that they can't sell around here because the prices are so obscenely high that the people who would want to, traditionally the people who moved in those areas were like young families, but a young family can't afford that house anymore.
Sure.
And the people who originally owned it, generally they're not pumping a whole lot of money into these houses. So if it hasn't been updated since like the 90s, and it costs you $500,000, like, why?
Sure.
So there's an article in the Washington Post about how like a lot of these boomers were basically, they tied their retirement into their house. The idea of, I'm going to sell my house, go to a retirement home or a smaller community, and then I'll be okay. But they're not finding anyone willing to buy these houses, and there's already like a mini bubble that's bursting around here as a result.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to hear if you don't own a home. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that's going to happen. I mean, you're going to see, you know, as millennials, our generation, who a lot of us are suffering still from college debt, just have less cash.
Yep.
You know, when people need to sell their houses, I mean, either, you know, I think, you know, you just, I mean, the bad thing that could happen would be outside investment comes in and basically just everyone in our generation just rents forever, and that would be bad. But the positive hope is that people try to sell, you know, there's a crash and housing becomes affordable again.
Yep.
But even saying that aloud, I was like, nah, the more logical thing that happens is that outside investor comes in and just keeps it
Starts demolishing places and redevelops it.
Yeah. Well, redeveloping wouldn't be the thing. I mean, someone has to live there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing I like.
Wealthy people don't want to live. Like wealthy people, you got to figure wealthy people. The hope is just that wealthy people don't want to live here, right?
Yeah.
Because of taxes. So if wealthy people don't want to live here, then the fear would be that someone just, you know, the people with money buy the area and just keep the prices high, artificially, kind of. And everyone's just forced to rent still.
Yep. Oh, if you want to see some artificially high prices, go look at the cost of apartments at the Watergate.
Okay.
And, because, yeah, they, I mean, like $1 million for, like, 600 square feet.
Yeah, I mean, some places are stupid. Like, there's a group of apartments that opened out, like, across the street from where I work. And, like, they were under construction when I started working there. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll look at this place. They want, like, $4,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment a month.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's not like it's not a major city that I work in. Like it's a work hub. There's a ton of offices there, but like you're not like near anything that great. It's
The convenience is your job, not anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not like there's a fairly big town, like you know, maybe 10 minutes away from that, but still not. I don't know. It's insane how it's way too much money. The only people that I can see by like choosing to live there, because I mean, at that point you can afford a mortgage of $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
The only people I can see doing that would be like, okay, maybe these are people who are like being transferred from their companies for a short-term period of time. Because otherwise, it's who the fuck's renting a $4,000 apartment?
One thing I've noticed is like, I updated my LinkedIn recently, and I just keep getting hit with recruiters who like don't know what they're doing, but because they're going by buzzwords, and.
Sure.
There's a lot of positions out there that I'm getting contacted for, and they're like, we need like a cloud Amazon architect, and it's a 3-year contract. I'm like, why the fuck would I take a 3-year contract to move halfway across the country? Like, why do companies think that this is good? They're going to get someone who's going to do it, clearly, but why would I take on a contract position for 3 years and just be like, yeah, I don't need benefits, that's cool. Doesn't matter what you're paying. Like,
well, I mean, if they're paying enough, then then it makes
I mean,
sense.
they're not paying that much more. That's the crazy thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends if that's what someone is for a job, you know.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, sure, I guess it makes sense. Just
Plus, I mean, you know, if they want you to fly across the country, I mean, are they paying for all that? Like, I literally work for a relocation company, so
Yeah.
that's things like that are, you know, people getting relocated like that. I mean, a lot of the people getting relocated are people just who work within a company. You know, they do a good job at what they're doing, and they're like, hey, we're, you know, you're doing really great at this job in New Jersey, but we have a similar, you know, process in Chicago that's not going so great. Can you move there for, you know, 6 months, show them how to do their shit, and then you can come home?
Huh.
That's a really common scenario.
Gotcha. I see. I haven't dealt with much with like temporary relocation like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's so. Those are the kind of people that I see working at the, you know, and in the case of these sports, like, you'll see some crazy things too. Like the other day, I was doing something with the company Colgate.
Yeah.
And you know, they're like, hey, you know, you had what's this like $7,000 miscellaneous expense? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just coded as miscellaneous expense. Let me, you know, I'll contact my expense team. We'll see what it is. And it was for a gym membership
Whoa.
in like India. So
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, but I mean, this company paid it. You know, so some of these, you know, executives kind of will just get, you know, they'll pay for kind of silly things for high-level people at these locations.
Gotcha.
Now, I still don't, you know, I emailed the counselor to joke afterwards, and I was like, so what gym's charging that kind of thing? What services are provided?
Right? That's gotta be like personal trainer shit.
Yeah, I mean, 7,000, yeah, it must be personal trainer. Like, every single day you get a personal trainer. I can see that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's, that's just an example of, you know, companies will pay for these relocations. Especially in the case of executives, I mean, you'll see very high numbers.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just remember like my dad. He worked for Lockheed Martin as a director for a long time, and they would pay for first class travel even if it was only like even if it was still within the state. If it was like longer than a 30-minute drive, they'd pay for a first class airplane flight all the time. He never took it. He liked the road trips and shit, so he would just get the rentals. But like, the amount of stuff they'll offer those execs, like you said, is kind of crazy.
Yep.
Not my company, though.
Yeah, I'm not high enough to get relocated. Wouldn't mind it though.
How much do you tend to see for like a relocation for people for like starting a new job? Like what numbers do you generally see?
I mean, it varies all the time.
Gotcha.
I really can't give you like a straight number because it's like, what's it called? You know, some jobs like, you know, like I work with some companies that are really tiny. Like they'll just give you like a $500 lump sum payment and that's it. And that's all right. Here's $500. Figure out all your travel expenses.
Gotcha.
You know, there are other companies that, you know, they'll pay for every single aspect of the move. They'll pay for, you know, what it costs to fly there, what it costs to fly all your stuff there, your food out there, your rental car out there. You know, and you'll see hundreds of thousands of dollars for 6-month relocations in some cases.
Wow.
So sometimes they're permanent moves too, and then they also companies are also liable for a lot of times for the gross ups.
Yeah.
Which are you understand what those are, yeah. So you know the taxes associated with all of those things.
Yeah, I mean I know a lot of it you can write off as like a moving expense, but a lot of it, I guess, if
well, it's not necessarily that you write it off. It's the company doesn't write it off. So, for example, okay, this is my job. My job is explaining this all the time. If you were to earn $100,000 a year, and your relocation costs $20,000, so like say you know between your plane tickets and all your moving expenses, whatever, it was $20,000. That would be added to your regular income, and then your company. And so let's say for $20,000, you also owe, you know, $8,000 of tax. You know, that's just, you know, the amount of the federal tax, social security tax, whatever, because that's all considered part of your income. So your company would also pay that tax.
yeah. Okay.
So and that's called a gross up. So even though you're not really paying it, but you're not really writing it off either. Like you're at the end of the day, your W-2 income is going to be, you know, the 100,000 plus the tax or plus the expenses plus the gross up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because because they're like, hey, we'll give you $10,000 for relocation, and they're actually giving you more than that. It's just that minus taxes is the relocation money. Yeah.
It's actually that plus taxes. So you're
yeah,
getting
yeah,
that $10,000.
Yeah. But you're actually getting more than that. At least that.
Your company's paying more than that.
Yeah. Your company's paying more than that.
Right, but then you can get nailed in the back end because sometimes your tax bracket goes up, and then so bad things can happen when you get relocated too.
I like people who say, "Oh, if I go up in a tax bracket, I'm going to make less money overall." Like that's how taxes work.
You have no idea how taxes work if you just ever say that.
Dude, is that one of those like pet peeves when someone says it pisses you the hell off?
No one's ever asked me that.
Okay.
I mean, most of the people I think I work with are. I mean, the dumbest conversation I think I ever had was like, someone's like, hey, what's my policy for this? And I was like, so I just, I opened up a Microsoft Word document. I was like, okay, so if you're, this level employee, you get this treatment, and if you're an officer, you get this treatment. And the person goes, we don't have officers in our company. We had officers in the Navy where I was.
Oh gosh, you went to the military tirade thing.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, that's what it says, but okay. And then she's like, so how does this work? I'm like, how do you get to these numbers? I'm like, well, it's multiplication. It's just kind of math stuff. I can try to do it. Don't insult my intelligence.
Oh god.
Okay, ma'am.
Chill the fuck out.
But I mean, most of what I only really answer the phones like once a month, so I don't deal with that too much. And honestly, that was probably the worst conversation I think I've ever had. So it's not too bad. I don't deal with too many people who are that ignorant. Most of them are kind of, they just, it is, gross ups are a foreign concept to most people, so they're usually receptive.
Yeah. Well, I've just moved a lot, and companies keep paying for my move, and I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's easier on them rather than like arranging it all and working with me and getting all the company stuff done for the moving. Every company's just giving me a lump sum and says,
Lump sums are really standard.
Yep, and you just work it out. I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that. So,
I mean, that's kind of the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, well, it's easy for the company. It's annoying for me.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
because then they always have like preferred companies they want me to work with too.
Oh, you work for NBC, right? Or Discovery?
Yeah, I mean, NBC did it the exact same way. They're like, hey, these are companies we recommend you working with, but you can work with anyone you want, and here's your lump sum. And it always, it would always be like, I think NBC gave me 10,000 after I negotiated up, and Discovery, I think it was like 15. And each time they were like, so it's going to show up as, way more than that as a bonus that we're giving you, because that minus taxes is going to be the 15.
Exactly. But that is exactly what it is.
Yep.
So that's what a gross up is. And then I'm surprised that they don't have what I work for a company called Weichert, and Weichert they have contracts with different companies. They would have in a lot of cases they would have a contract with Discovery, and they would they'd be like, all right, here's Hojo, do all the shit. That's how it
Gotcha.
works. And then Weichert makes money by selling your house, and yeah, and we would figure out all your taxes for you. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I had to like itemize everything I was doing between like meals and moving costs and this, that, and the other, and then I would submit that.
Oh, I thought you just had a lump sum.
I did get a lump sum, but then they were also like, hey, by the way, do this, and like maybe we can work out to like help you out on your taxes if you write them all off as moving expenses.
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. Then they probably can give you more.
Yeah.
Tax assistance. Fun. Yeah. In the world of tax, it's kind of not that exciting, but
there's a lot to know, and it's not just rules, it's how things work and the best ways to navigate those rules.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I feel like there's a lot more to just what I do is pretty straightforward. It's just typing numbers in Excel for the most part. So, but are we doing this plus 10, or do you want to do some alt 2s? I don't care if you're not feeling well, then obviously don't. But if we don't do well, I don't care about that.
Yeah, we could do some alt 2s. Give me a second to check on one quick thing.
Sure.
I mean, I'm gonna run 1 or 2 sims because I got another piece of 415 gear, but it might be better than the other piece of 415. I don't know. I'm trying to like grasp at straws here so I can do more damage on Ash
Are you,
Fane.
Gotcha. No, you guys were struggling pretty hard against that?
Yeah, we weren't making DPS checks.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Are you at least like in the middle of the pack, or are you lagging?
If you were to put my DPS and sustain it for the fight, I'd actually probably be a little bit higher. I think I'd be like a top 100 Warlock on kills.
Nice.
But I don't think people are bringing many Warlocks to that fight.
Gotcha.
So
Alright, I guess Warlocks aren't the best single targets right now.
just on that fight, it seems like they're struggling. There's like some add damage that needs to happen to break people out of bubbles, and enough mobility that a lot of my damage comes from spamming Shadow Bolt, and I don't get to do it on that fight.
I see.
So yeah, be right back. In terms of serious business that my guild is doing now, in terms of like trying to get this fight done, they're like, hey, if you have anything less than a 430 in a piece, let the guild know. We're going to put together mythic runs if we have to funnel you gear.
Yeah. So what's random level now? Like 440?
I am in PvE gear. I am 437.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the benthic gear is super strong, and I only have one piece. It's like legitimately, if you can get benthic with a socket, the only way you're replacing it is with like 455 gear. For the raid itself, they're just too strong.
And why is that? Just because benthic gear has really good optimized stats, or?
Now I'll link one to you. They've got really powerful effects on them that are worth.
Increases the damage when you deal with crit. Oh, I see. Okay.
That's actually a 3% boost on damage on every crit.
Okay, I guess that adds up. Yeah.
It actually changes my stat priority to crit very heavily. It's
really?
Yeah,
It's just 3% change. That's weird.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Huh.
So let me run 1 or 2 quick sims on this new piece of gear that I got. Also, I permanently have the Trash Master title now. Feeling pretty good about that.
Nice. Back in the world.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind doing one arena on my main, just so I can test out this this trinket.
We can definitely do. We can do a few on the mains too.
Yeah, I just want to. I mean, and really, it's just because I want to see how much. Like, I went to the that Pally Discord you guys gave me like a long time ago, and I was like, all right, so what's the best way to get max HPS?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, yeah, well, you know that Zodra trinket? Yeah, that thing's hot garbage. You should probably disenchant that. But the other one is really good. The Jellyweed. It's probably like that, and I actually screwed up. I should have rolled for the apparently the deferred sentence off of like the third to last boss is also pretty good. So I should try to get that.
Off the council.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
the Queen's Court.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's a pretty big HPS increase for a lot of people too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, it is saying that shoulder piece is better by like 180 DPS, which I am cool with.
Get
What?
it.
Yeah, and that means the other one can turn into like demo gear or something. I think. We'll find out in a second. Let me change these traits, and we can do some twos.
Cool.
Like, I've got the pain under control on my migraine. It's just like the loopiness and the lack of
No,
focus.
I get it. I mean, it's cool if we die. I'll be sure to show you for it.
Oh, we made a Venruki video on YouTube.
Did we?
Yeah, he said game we shouldn't have won but did, long game, and it was the Windwalker disc into us on Robodrome. He conveniently left out the
Four that he lost afterwards.
Yeah. And then the comment, of course, there's one person in there bitching about how Destro's impossible to beat and blah blah blah, and how Robodrome is great for a caster. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. Cool shit.
Yeah, how about we link the I think the best video I ever got linked in, someone put this, it was back in Wrath, and someone put a video against me and my team that they actually lost, but they cut it, like they killed me, and then they killed me, and then my 2 DPS ended up winning the 2v3.
Mm-hmm.
The video cuts out the moment I die. So it was an awkward one. So yeah, someone posted a video claiming they won and they lost. It's like,
Toss me that invite, man. Let's do a couple twos.
yeah, let's do a couple twos. Let's go holy. Let's spend on holy gear. So we'll do these trinkets for now.
I'm gonna make you square.
Aw, man, I'm not a square. It's not cool.
Well, I'm a different square. It's okay.
It's actually true. You are a different square.
Yes.
7th grade geometry. Let's go.
Talking to Orexia. Apparently the qualifiers for the arena tournament are today, so we're gonna have to sign up for next week's.
Oh, that's fine.
So on the forums, I was bitching about like how no one has any idea even when the tournaments are to like sign up for them and stuff. And in that thing, like I was having a back and forth with Dilly or Dylan, whatever he wants to be called now, and he was like, "Oh, if no one knows when it is, I should just maybe from now on I'll start putting forum posts on when signups are." And I was like, "Yeah, that would actually be really helpful. So even we could at least get on the tournament realm, even if we're not competing very well, so we can try new things and get more people playing." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." He hasn't done it once. Because apparently once you sign up for one tournament, you get access to the tournament realms forever, and you can go experiment with whatever class you want at max level with all the essences and gear.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. And it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
All you,
downside.
all you have to do is sign up for it, and like I just want more people to be signing up for that shit.
And GM's messaging me about this raid. Do I go to like one? Do I do like 5 pulls and then just leave? Or...
Is it Savara still?
Yeah, short fast.
I mean, they don't need healing; they need damage there. I would just say, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
They need healing too. I mean,
Yeah.
I do 50 plus K HPS every pull, and the next best holy pellet is 20.
Oh god, you should all be pulling like 40 pretty easily.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I was talking to some friends of mine who still work in sports all the time, and I was saying, like, so I noticed this a lot with the esports scene. Why do announcers always repeat the same thing like every 20 or 30 minutes? And they said the audience refreshes every 15 minutes on average. That's what just about all studies have shown. Every sports thing or whatever, your audience is refreshing every 15 minutes. So that's why they always say the same things over and over. What am I playing here? Playing Roots, Demon Armor, Focus Chaos. Yeah, that's all fine.
I really just want to see how much healing I get out of this trinket.
Yeah, because... Well, I see Moonguard. Maybe it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Okay. Open on me right away.
Send both of us, because they can.
Yep.
Hiding right away. He misses burn, he's wow.
Yeah, I'm going to fear him off, so that way he can't do anything. Root him.
Yeah, Iron Break himself as well.
I locked I-beam there. It's on me. I'll trinket. Coil both. I'll fear heals off. Fake Infernals out. I'm gonna drop real Infernals too.
Back into your line.
Thank you.
No way I'm trying to kite.
I'm playing with the wrong mouse right now, and it does not matter. Block regrowth. He kicks Shadow for some reason. Also, I got... Yep. I'm gonna bolt him. Oh, I got stunned too. But the thing, remember I was telling you about how sometimes that it bugs out when I get the other proc happened? It happened there, so like I still have my big bolts, even though Infernals has been down for like a little bit. Like I just bolted him for 55k through Ironbark.
Nice.
Oops.
How's that guy?
Nice. Okay. Sap me. Oh, he cloned my pet and I missed it. Okay, whatever. You can take gate if you need it.
Yeah, I'm planning to.
Should be able to fear heals here. I don't know how he got away from me there.
It's fine.
I'm gonna fear this guy in a second. My dog needs to shut the fuck up. My girlfriend needs... She just like sits there and does nothing when he's barking. Like, she is like the worst housekeeping girlfriend ever of all time. I ran to get stunned with you. Can you take him away from the healer's thing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Cool. And now I can hit him.
Trick cleanse, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I do think Druid is kill.
I agree. I'm gonna bubble this burn. So I should have done that earlier, but...
I can fear... Let me try to get the Druid out and see if I can fear this guy. Okay, sap me there.
Drinking.
Yep. I'll see if I can root.
Nah, it's fine. He's really far from his healer, though.
Yep. Actually, I'm gonna pop into his healer real quick whenever he comes out of stealth on you. I'm gonna coil both for you.
How'd you got that?
Cool.
Probably reverses it. Use the reverse.
Yep. Triggering that
Rock
stun.
three.
Yep. Bolting him. Bolting him. Trying to fear heals.
I'm gonna keep bringing him through you.
Yep.
You better run, buddy. Go over here and sit down. Instant trinketed.
Yep. Lock heals there. If you think you can solo him, go for it.
I mean, I'm sort of doing that.
He just like jumped up on me there. Not much I could do about it. That's all like his passive healing. The healer didn't do anything to help him there. Coiling both. Got Trinket out on the coil. I'm gonna fear him off you, and then I'm gonna hit heals if I can. Trying to fear him again. Yeah, he just... They're so
I'm
mobile.
just gonna dodge him over here.
Yeah, please do. You know what? Cyclonic isn't on my bar. That's the problem. I could be doing more damage. Yeah, I'll fear him again. Maybe get this druid out. Nah, he's just rooting him there on his charge on you. He just rooted my pet so we could get over to you. But he didn't line my pet, he just rooted him and then tried healing. I have my Infernals in 30 if you think you can live that long.
Should be able to.
Got him out of stealth with the fake Infernal. Fearing him, nope. I'm gonna get cloned here, but I'm gonna shrink. Okay, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna fear this guy again, maybe get something. Okay, there's the Dispel and everything. I locked Ivy for you. I can start bolting him. It's not real Infernals?
Bring him back to you.
Yeah. Sat me, that's good.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live until my next bubble, but
Can you go to our, like a starting room or something?
yeah, I can
Yeah.
go back to the room.
Cool. Yeah, you kick fire school. That's good. Yeah. I can't lock blast. My pet's not near there.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, this is good. I should be able to get some damage off here. I'm gonna go full feather feet.
Oh, he just actually he immuned my hand. What a god.
Yeah. Totally intentional. Okay, they are totally running here. Oh my god, I hate them. Lock regrowth. So how are you feeling about that the thing? Can you just take him off the pillar if you can?
Yes.
Thank you. Coil both. Watch them both. Trinket stunning them both. I only got one. I'm gonna fear him off you. And then, yep.
I think this is it.
Yep. Thank you. Fearing him again.
I'm doubling just because I can.
Rooting him at the end of that, so I can cyclonic him.
He didn't do very much, did he? Or that can't be right.
I'll take a look at it in a second. Luminous Jellyweed did not do much, no. That's 2200 twos, man.
It was actually really easy. That felt pretty bad. I guess that's Druid and DH.
Yeah, they probably beat 90% with the QN2 just by virtue of being them.
So yeah, let's see. According to my thing, it did. Hang on. Did like well, this numbers are wrong. It said I did 3.5k healing, which is obviously incorrect. Oh, it's HPS healing done. There we go.
Yeah, I looked at it and it's literally 2.5% of your healing apparently. It did a lot of them, but it didn't heal for much.
Healing. No. Let's see here. Is it purgeable? Maybe it was getting purged. If it's purgeable, that's really good. Then it's definitely good.
Yeah, he purged it 6 times.
That might be it. Because if it's purgeable, then it's worth it for the trashy buff.
Oh yeah, I think he was going for your freedoms a lot and ended up getting that.
Because it felt like he wasn't getting my my aura mastery with it. So that actually, if it's getting purged and it's doing that, and that's why, then that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna go to do like a couple attempts.
Okay, I'll let you know if anything happens on my end.
Yeah, if that heroic happens, or if that critical
Or-
thing happens,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ditch.
If Orexia comes on, I can do a few, but if it feels like I'm not playing well enough, then I'll call it.
Yep, you know I'll never roll that against you. Alright, we'll talk to you later.
Cool. Peace.
To his machinations.
We're on a little bit of a break from that, guys. If you have anything you want me to talk about or any questions you want to ask me, please feel free. I'm trying to get some activities going on here, but I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon. It might turn into an alt session, but I don't want. Yeah. No, Rumble Rocks is up. Also, the shoulders I got from the world boss, guess what, guys? They are all of a 200 DPS gain. That's right. We gained some DPS. I'm switching mice again. I kind of want to get a second camera to show you guys, like, sometimes my mice setup and everything. I don't know if that... I mean, does that sound interesting to anyone? To have, like, a keyboard mouse layover? Not even a layover, but like a second webcam pointed at my, my mouse and keyboard. Does that sound interesting at all? To anyone? Is that something anyone... I mean, I think it's... It would just only be cool to show off, like, what I've got, I think. I don't think it would actually be too useful. I do need to actually look into getting a tracker for all of my abilities, though. I do want to get that, so that way people can see what I'm casting and when. You will notice I mouse over my frames a lot to click on them. I do not target people with a macro or a mouse in Arena. To be frank, I'm faster than the globals, and it has never mattered for me. Maybe it's something I'll look at doing if I really try to push rank 1. But I honestly, with the games I've been playing this season, I feel like I could get rank 1 without having to change what I'm doing. As conceited as that is. So yeah, ergonomic changes today were, just let me update my thing. Honestly, I don't, like, look at the tournament realm, man. Like, you aren't seeing any Destros. I think once everyone starts getting more gear, and you look at the essences, I think Destro's gonna start falling off a fair bit more. But it's not like there's a shit ton of us at the high ratings, you know? Yeah, I just don't see enough of us at the higher ratings to make me think it's bad. I think Destro punishes bad players, so people on the forums tend to think of it as a very, very strong spec that's overpowered and needs a nerf. But I feel like so much of Destro is telegraphed that if you really want to avoid it, if you want to counterplay it, you can. I think that's why it does really well in the ladder compared to the tournaments in general as well, because it's very hard on the tournament realms to punish mistakes, or in the tournaments to punish the mistakes, because people aren't making mistakes. Whereas in the ladder, people are queuing for hours at a time. They make mistakes. Destro can punish that. So, I mean, that's just my take on it. I think if you you could tune down the damage, and then people would generally go on the other targets, and maybe they'd be better. But I just don't see a fix for Demo because it's immobile and they like it being a turret. Or Destro. I just don't see the fix for it. And if you crush that, then the class becomes kind of unplayable, and I don't know what they do after that. I don't know what I'd play. Maybe Affliction. I think Affliction could be viable with a really strong kiting setup if Resto Sham were a little bit stronger. Yeah, Destro is super tanky. But the thing too is, like, Warlock, you had a lot of single target burst as Affliction. You had kiting abilities, and you were tanky but not too tanky, you know? I feel like the current iteration has to be you are very tanky and you are not scary outside of your cooldowns for the most part. Like, let's be honest, you see an MLP, you go Lock because you think you can kill him, not because he's scary. That's my take, at least. Okay. Let's pop some cooldowns here. Let's have fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop it. Drain it. I think Destro could be good. But Destro... Or not Destro, Demo. I think... I'm going to claim that's the migraine, not just me being an idiot. I think Demo could be very good. Epic Burn's been running it pretty well. Menemies has been running it okay. But your comp variety is a lot more limited. I really think it only works in caster cleaves. But it can be good, and you can build up some big memey tyrants, and you are still tanky without it being over the top. But, I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution is for Warlock outside of, like, class redesigns. Like, because early on, with Destro, you could play, like, a Shadowburn build. Or you could play, like, a Conflag build. And yes, it was strong, and yes, it needed nerfing, but, like, you weren't this one-shot meme thing. You were this, like, semi-immobile, kind of tanky thing that was spamming a lot of damage. And, like, you just had to deal with the Warlock by CCing him, by going him and shutting him down. But, like, you weren't worried about these big-ass one-shots that people keep bitching about on the forums. And then they nerfed that, and they said, no, the only way we want you to play is by one-shotting people. And they tuned the Conflag build so hard out of the game that, like, they didn't take it to this is not good anymore. They took it to this is not playable anymore. I wish WoD. I mean, at the time I was saying, like, oh god, I never want WoD again. But I mean, that was my first 2400, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I kind of miss WoD Affliction. I really miss WoD Affliction and how it was. Season 1 of Affliction in BFA, where you were just going for the drains, and your whole goal was to not die before 2 drains, and, like, that was a challenge in and of itself. Like, having to play with a rank 1 healer to get that off was, like, the dumbest shit. To barely scrape by Glad in the first season with how bad Affliction was. And then all the changes went in place. Affliction got nerfed with the drain traits, and then everyone was playing Destro anyway, and because Demon Armor got buffed up. But I mean, I didn't play at that point, so I can't comment on it too much. I'm gonna hop in my guild's Discord. Maybe they're doing some stuff. Literally, no one is doing anything, but hey, maybe people will join because they'll see me in there.
Thank you. This brief respite is quite welcome.
We might be getting a plus 15 in here. Oh, God. So, Affliction is... Okay, how's about this? In a PvE environment, I really like Affliction. I like having to spin plates with your dots. It is frustrating that it's... By making Affliction the single target build, you're always playing Siphon, which is like, eh. But it's fun. It's very fun. It's very engaging. Without it being too complicated, and there's a lot that you can do on the move. I love the hell out of current demo. I think it's built very well. Not empowering your demons and instead building up for big tyrants is very rewarding. It could use a little bit more mobility, I think. But maybe it's just how I've been playing it. But I like Demo right now in a PvE setting and PvP to an extent. I like Affliction in PvE. I think it's trash in PvP. And I really like Destro. I don't really like Destro in PvP, but I do like it to an extent. It does have its own reward to it, but it does feel frustrating to be like this super immobile target that can't do anything. But Destro is just not fun in PvE, man. It's the most boring ass thing. Did I ever buy that yet? I gotta go check that out. Like, Destro has like 3 buttons, which is like why it's kind of fun in PvP. Because like you have enough answers, but you're not overloaded with options on your damage. Man, though. Destro PvE, man, there's just like not much to do. Sit there and make sure immolates are on things, Havoc when it's up, and then Bolt. Like, that's really all there is to Destro PvE. And if there's not 2 targets, you don't do anything. And that is not kill saw, that is junk thingy. Well, I guess Casual doesn't want to do plus 15 with me.
User input.
So, Operation Mecha is gonna happen soonish. That has been confirmed. That's going down.
Accessing inventory.
Oh, I need fucking 40? I thought I needed 20. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Mercantilism function in progress. Your currency has
Bolt, if you're still there, like, my issue with Destro, the biggest issue I have, is that everyone treats it like a no-skill class, because all you do is stand out there and turret things. I think there's a very big disrespect for Destro, because no one really knows what makes a good one or a bad one, because it's not very apparent. Being good with your setups, your coils, your stuns, your fears, to set your bolts up to actually matter, knowing when to use your damage, just the littlest bit of positioning, like, all that stuff is so freaking important, and it's so not apparent to people. So no one really knows what makes a good one or a bad one. It's not like Windwalker where you can look at the ROPs and be like, oh yeah, a good ROP can separate, you know, a good Paralyze can really separate them. Like, there isn't a play like that really with Destro. It's not like Mage where, like, their ability to land polys, be in your face, and be aggressive while, you know, being good with their cooldowns is, you know, you can't get that as well. And to an extent, I will say people don't really know the difference between good and bad mages, unfortunately. But it's just, the difference between me now and me when BFA started on Destro is huge, and I feel like if you didn't know what I was trying to do, you would have no idea what that difference is. And that's just, like, really frustrating when other people start talking about my class. It's really frustrating. Because you don't want to go out there and be screaming from the rooftops, you know, I'm actually good at my class, it actually takes some skill, but, like, you have to play it to know how to do it. You can't be going out there saying, like, you have to, you know, don't knock it till you try, you don't know what it's like, blah, blah, you know, that's dumb shit. It's just more that, like, I don't know, I'm just rambling now. It's frustrating. I get frustrated by people who think Demo is easy, or Demo is broken, or Demo is this overpowered comp, or it needs to get nerfed into the ground because someone sat out in the open while a Warlock threw down 3 Rain of Fires and then bolted you twice. Like, if you're sitting out in the middle, not kicking him at any point, or like the one video on the forums, I don't know if anyone saw it, but this Resto Druid running DHDK just ran at a Warlock all game. The Warlock literally popped every cooldown he had. He popped Infernal, threw down multiple Rains of Fires, popped Dark Soul Misery, popped the Orc Berserking, popped a wall so he couldn't be interrupted. The DH and DK did nothing to sap, stun, or grip him. And the Resto Druid stood out in the very middle of the map, not even looking at the Warlock, took 2 bolts to the face, along with all the other damage from the Mage on the team. And he puts on the forums as like, Warlocks are broken. Look at that, he did 130k in a bolt. It's like, yeah, you kind of let him. And I feel like that should be punished. Like if you are so dumb that you let a Warlock one-shot you that's not Feather Feet, like, that's on you, not on the Warlock class design. And I just feel that so many people look at Warlocks and go like, well, it's so easy to do that, blah, blah, blah. So, nerf them. Look at me getting tilted about stuff.
I have received word that a powerful enemy nearby wishes.
So I'm thinking about the run tonight for Heroic Mecha. And I think what I'm gonna want to do is not run Affliction. I want to run Demo, but none of my Demo gear is good. I'm looking at Reforges maybe. Supreme Commander, I don't have any Balefuls. I don't have any Balefuls. I legitimately can't play Demo. I have 1 Baleful on a 405 piece. I have it on this, I could reforge that. Don't have it on that. Do I have it on the 420s? No. No. I can't play Demo. So I'm gonna be stuck playing Destro or Affliction and Mechagon. Which is fine. You know, that's fine.
Your Horde scouts have reported a formidable enemy nearby. I agree with their proposal on how to...
I'm also Trash Master Hojo right now, just so you know. Mastering all the trash. tilted about that. So we're just doing some world quests right now while we kill some time. We're waiting on Chewie. Q him, whatever. Waiting on my guild's main tank, and he's gonna hop on, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, we're doing heroic Mechagon," and then we'll do it, and then it'll be fun. But for now, doing some world quests.
This monster was once a guardian of the faithful. Now it feeds upon the souls
We actually got to
of
make
the
more
dead.
food. I've been
Destroy
jumping
it.
through a lot of it. I wonder if that would be better in PvP than Cyclonic. I do like Cyclonic. I do. It's nice when they kick everything else and I still have it. Okay. Let's just go through the rotation here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm trying to use my my MMO mouse for once, and I'm binding it to a lot of my PvE rotation to get some stress off my left wrist. So I did the ergonomic adjustments today, and that's helping me a lot. But I'm trying to, you know, as little as I can use with my left hand, the better right now. My right hand's been okay. I'm usually pretty good about my right hand's ergonomics with the mouse. Oh, we can actually use a dark layer here. We're gonna clip it. We did not. Take the gold. Turn the quest in, get a 455 because Titan Forging is dumb as hell. Yeah, I gotta get a 60 neck also. I think that'll help. Someone in my chat thing, a BNet announcement. Look at me. This is what I do. My friends list is healers.
Show me your coin, and I will show you my ware.
Okay. That's a disenchant. That's not bad. I'll take it. We gotta do some Vol'dun world quests while we wait. We are expecting to be doing some Operation Mecha. My tank should be home now-ish. He's got to make dinner and everything, so probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we'll be doing Operation Mecha. Until then, killing time, man. Having fun. Might take off work tomorrow if my head keeps me up all night, because my migraine is a thing.
Someone's drawing power from Azerite in this area. You need to stop him.
What do you guys think? Should multi-glad be one word or 2 words? Should it be multi-dash-glad, multi-space-glad, or all one word, multi-glad?
Good work, champion.
These are important things that I leave it up to you, the viewer. Zzz. There's multiple of you, I think. Also, maybe we should do a transmog thing. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna update that. I want a new transmog, guys. So please, let me know your thoughts. Not all of my gear is in the sets. I do have tier 3, all the visible pieces except for the belt. No, I will never be getting the belt.
I've received reports of a dangerous creature in this area.
But we do have the challenge mode gear available to us. We can go total clown car if we really want. But yeah, help me pick a transmog. I want to change it up. I'm getting a little bit bored of the same one. I like to change my transmogs frequently. PvP, we're just rocking the Elite set for now. I want PvP set to be different than my PvE set. That is very important to me. Otherwise, I will totally forget what set I am wearing and be in the wrong stuff all the time, in the wrong spec all the time. So please, help me change my transmog. Yeah. We have elite sets from pretty much all of Legion. Like, WoD and onward, we have the elite sets. So, actually, I've never noticed that these shoulders are bigger. Maybe I should rock that one for a bit. But yeah. We have a fair amount. I just need a new set. I do have the, what I call teal Deathbringer, where I've got the teal robes. So please, help me pick a new transmog. Especially before this dungeon starts, otherwise I have to do it on my own, and I hate committing to things. You guys know that. Commitment? Blah. Committing to a transmog for 5 minutes? Blah. No, thank you. Oh god, Leviathan just procced on that thing and killed it on its own. That is the dumbest shit. Oh, I love it. That is the dumbest shit. Oh, okay. Just clicking the wrong buttons. Still learning my way around this mouse. It's weird, like, just the way I'm holding the mouse. It's different. It's very different. I'm like one row off always. Oh, no, I don't need anything else. Ugh. Yeah, this wrist is a little bit iffy still. It's better. It's just not 100%. Really? That one's gonna end in an hour? Okay. I'll be done with World Quest by the time the raid Mythic Plus starts. But help me with the transmog, guys. I need opinions. Strong opinions.
A dangerous threat lurks nearby. Destroy it before it preys on more innocent lives.
disenchant some things while we wait. I gotta do a way crest at some point, and I think I'm done with the disenchanting rod, and then... Excuse me, everyone. The synchronous thread. I need to do a Taldazar, I guess.
Have you come to trade? Take care of yourself. No one else will.
Hey, okay, one sec, guys. Ah, shit. I have to tell Vindy.
What's up?
What's up? Let me go ahead and teleport there. And, yeah, we can summon or whatever. I don't know. AFK, one sec.
I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Okay, cool. Kid Hojo is back. I can summon people out front. If anyone wants that.
What was that?
I can summon people out front if anyone needs it. Or we can get more people in.
Either come summon.
You guys gotta get the coolest item in the game.
Why?
Because it lets me be lazier than usual. Actually, I shouldn't have made any.
30 seconds away from my Hearthstone.
Yeah. I should move my Hearthstone down low at some point.
The best place.
Yeah. Yeah. So, funny thing, I did the world boss. It dropped 415 shoulders, you know, upgraded to 420. And because the traits on everything are so bad, on the other pieces of gear I have, it was actually a 200 DPS upgrade.
Classic.
Yeah.
I'll come quick.
Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles, like you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, more warlocks the better. Let me run out and change my Azurite traits. Not traits, neck essences. With this group, do you think I should play single target affliction for bosses or just regular Destro nonsense?
Affliction.
Okay. I was looking at my demo traits to see if I could actually play demo like a cool kid in dungeons, and I don't have a single piece of gear with the right ones.
Is explosive potential still good?
It is. There's two ways people are playing it now. Triple Baleful, and then you do a lot of procs on the Tyrant, or you run Explosive Potential and sacrifice some burst for a little bit more sustain. Yeah.
I remember before they nerfed it, demo was just shit.
Yeah, it was the shit everywhere. But
You just get 3 of those traits in top DPS.
Yup. I'm gonna run Vision of Perfection as a minor and throw a bunch of Infernals out. And then run Focusing Iris as my main. Wait, no, not Infernals. God damn it, I don't even know what spec I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
Yo. I'll summon you. Oh, you already got it. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna need another because it's gonna wear off. I'm gonna put in tier 3 pancake.
Oh yeah.
And...
Go do your thing. I'll summon you.
Thanks.
I wonder if we get rank 3 and rank 4 at the same time.
You do. People have already been getting it today.
Oh.
I didn't do hard mode last week. Rip.
I didn't either.
Alright, don't go dying on me then.
You didn't do hard mode last week, did you?
Mm-hmm. I ran it twice.
Oh, you ran it with me a second time? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, I saw something about them nerfing the dog today in a hotfix.
Again? They nerfed him last week and it was super easy.
Reduced damage from Furnace of Flames by 20%. Throwing waste in now removes the dot from trash, I think. And... What? I don't understand this nerf.
Clean the slow debuff?
I think so.
Oh, how do you clean that?
You throw more trash in, and it apparently is supposed to clear it.
That seems not like a feasible strat for anyone without a blink or something.
Okay. I have...
I'm gonna run Kick. It's gonna hurt my damage a little bit, but not enough to matter.
What do we need to kick?
Do we need to kick?
I don't think so. The world.
Okay. I'll do my best not to die.
I'm just gonna go... Oh, Usol's not here.
Yeah.
I am accepting a summons now.
We died first last before we all horribly died.
Miseki was the only one person who died up to the last boss.
That's frustrating. That's a I don't know how to do the last boss on hard mode, so you'll have to explain it to me.
You click things.
Yeah, I can click.
It's harder than it sounds.
Well, I mean,
Why did I soulstone you? You won't need it.
Hopefully. Oh, I should probably not have Halo. That would be really bad to press here.
Just pull the entire dungeon.
It pulls so. Yeah, give me a moment after this to fix Talons.
I can summon you back. Or will that fuck up the achievement progress?
I got a tome.
Okay. I wonder, does the achievement progress even matter until you start fighting bosses?
Yeah, you can't die at all.
Okay. Nice, nice tornado there.
Tornado?
Or, sorry, nice chi roll or whatever you did there into the tree.
I had to get the zappy bot. Very important.
There will come a day where I remember that changing Talons as priest doesn't put the new one on your bars.
You can make a macro that does that.
I can help you with that if you need it.
No, it's just that I've been lazy doing it.
People like haste, grab the grease buff.
Where is? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Being taken.
I'll grab one eventually.
We'll get all the buffs before we fight the bot.
Probably a good decision.
We need it for the third, fourth,
Just makes all of them so much easier. The zappy dude does so much damage.
Ooh.
Don't go dying on me.
Thank you, Undulating Tides.
Welding bot. Grab it.
I was slowed by some.
Yeah, the mechanic there does it.
Protocol activated.
I would kind of like that early on in all this, my goal is to overheal y'all by a ton.
Try to build up pancake.
Yeah. Well, with rank 3, its healing is increased by 50%. So I can heal for 150% of my health. If I GS the target, then that's an extra 60% on top of that.
That's excessive heal.
Yep.
I'm
pretty sure
500k health right now.
Yeah,
530.
I have 322k.
It's like a full heal.
Yeah, I can fully heal you.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
What's the cooldown on that?
On Pancake?
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Oh.
But also I have to build it up again.
Sure.
And it's not all of your overhealing, it's like some shit.
I feel like that's not a great trait conceptual.
It's not for raids, it is great for dungeons. Like, I started running it on our progression and realized that I overheal so little because of how healer constrained the early fights are.
Not only that, but like, are you like, why would you want to waste mana for like a lay on hand?
Because it's an instant cast, no travel time, full heal on a target. It also has a good minor effect that's a lot of throughput. And it lets you cast AoE heals with effectively banking your overheal. Also, my mastery naturally overheals a lot because it leaves hots on everyone I heal. And so if I pop someone off on a heal, then it naturally builds some.
I'm breaking that trap right away. I was fine.
No risks. I have a trait that makes leaf
Zappy do
cooldown go
there?
short.
One thing I appreciated on
Kill the mechanic, please.
yeah. I had appreciated how you gripped me back one time. I got knocked up in the air on what's his face?
Radiance?
Yeah, no, not Radiance. Ashvane.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, thanks, man, but I have my port to get back down if I really goof up like that.
Oh, yeah, I don't look at names. If I see someone go up and leaps up, I leap you if it's early in the phase, because I won't use it again.
Yeah. Well, then I saw you die to one after that. It was like one of our early pulls, and I was like, oh no, if only he could grip himself.
I can slow fall myself coming down.
True. I just wanted to do prequel memes at you.
Master spell. Overpowered. Priest just has so much overpowered utility.
Like damage.
Yeah, they're with their mana buffs in PvP, they got a lot stronger because of their utility and damage.
So they was saying you just tunnel priests and they die.
Void Shift is still a thing in PvP. Melee can, not everyone else can.
Yeah. Zappy dude.
Void Shift outside of PvP was hilarious because you'd get a Death Knight tank who would just take unreal hits with Purgatory. And so they'd be at like negative a bajillion health.
Yeah.
And then while they were at negative a million health, you'd Void Shift, and all the damage you heal up counts as a heal. So they would get heals for like 2 million.
Is there grease and a whelp over there too? You should grab the.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Don't kill the boss though.
Says the guy with his ox statue just chilling.
Hey.
The highest rank of, or this rank of Pancake means that it doesn't do overheal. So if I cast the 800,000
that's
point
good.
heal, yeah.
It stays in your reservoir.
Yeah, so I just healed you up for a third of your health and I still have 200,000. Which is why I wasn't running it until I got that.
It's weird how many traits only become like really strong at like level 3.
Oh, and they become so much strong. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I really felt that ENR bumped up, which is the healer one. I'm still kind of mad. I'm running the raid one secondary, because I think rank 3 makes it... I can't even say good. I'm going to say not shit, but really I'm just trying to see if it does anything.
Gotcha.
I was so mad the first time I tried to use that in raid.
Is that welding bot good enough for me to go get?
There'll be a bunch more. We can go grab
Okay.
them.
I don't want to worry about pulling the boss.
Grab
This is my raid essence.
Okay. Which what's the DPS
Don't
equivalent?
get hit by this
Yep.
machine gun.
Can you ring?
Bruh.
I got minimized and I got stepped on right away.
Well.
It says you stepped on yourself.
Trample hit me. Yeah. It says me.
Evo kid is non-conformist.
Oh shit. I mean, I don't know how I could trample myself.
Magic.
Must have been moving when it went off.
Nah, I was standing still casting there.
That's so dumb. If that's the case. I didn't know that those guys shrunk.
Yeah, there's a minimize. Sorry, guys. My combat log says I trampled myself.
Hey, it's never been done before.
Stream, check the VOD. Tell me what happened. Please.
How active are you as a streamer? Like, do you have viewers or do you just stream just to stream?
I mean, I get like, on a good day, I'll get 10. On most days, it's like 3 to 5.
Do you guys
How
know
many of
about
them are
some
your
other
mom?
game?
My mom doesn't understand streaming. I actually, if I think I told her about streaming, she'd probably be the most active viewer.
Yeah. I have
That's
a
how
friend
mom
who
are.
started streaming League, and he spams it out, and I'm pretty sure that like his friend group are the only people that watch because of the stream.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I've considered picking up streaming, but I'd feel really depressed if my stream ended up like his. There's that shrink cast.
Yeah.
Assistance protocol activated.
And the thing is, too, it wasn't just one trample; it was 2 in a row. Like,
You will have to sanitize the area in order
I don't know.
access it.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Got fucked up.
They made it so you can't dispel the box, and that makes me sad.
I just spelled it.
On a run, I went with, I was tanking, and then Aphelium was healing, and we had a Pally DPSing. And
The consume dot?
the bots, like when they get mucked up on the boss.
Oh. I
That
misheard you.
we could not.
I think if you ever want to stream, like, it really just got to be about the fun of it, and you can't let anything else really matter.
Why does it take Green Pete? This is
Oh.
a bad time.
Well, no, see, I would be streaming League, and there's no fun in that.
Well, that's also, unless you're like a rank 1 league kind of player, like, that game is so fucking saturated, you'd get no views anyway.
Oh no, I would not end up a big streamer, especially because I don't play enough. But I'd probably just
Be
do
a
educational.
regular Tyler.
No, I would probably be doing educational streams and get a tiny little viewer base on that.
Got a welding bot behind me.
Most of my viewership tends to come during like late season Gladiator pushes, when I think a lot of people are looking for how things are played. But they want to see different Warlocks doing different comps for their pushes.
I play a really underplayed support, so I would not get a whole lot.
Yeah.
there.
I think some people like the weird one-trick channels.
Yeah.
What do
The
you
problem
mean?
is there is a better one trick than me for my champion who plays mid, and everyone likes mid more than support. So,
That's true. Who do you play?
Vel'Koz.
Alright.
And Azap's really good.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Plays completely different from me, but at the end of the day, good is good. But who knows, maybe when I finish with board exams and have some breathing room, I'll try it. Need to figure out all the capture, video, stream decent quality shit.
I can help you with that if you ever need it. I enjoy setting that stuff up. It actually interacts with my job a lot.
Sensors recalibrated. Massive
Or overlaps with my job.
Mm-hmm.
Zappy bot. If anyone needs one of those.
Well, if you ever need any radiation calculations done, that overlaps with my job a lot.
Yeah, I'm cool. How was Chernobyl?
Haven't gone yet. That is after board exam.
No, I meant the show, the miniseries.
Oh, I have board exams on the 6th. That's not getting.
Wait, are you actually going to Chernobyl?
Yeah.
As like a scare you straight kind of trip?
No, it's vacation.
That is a weird vacation.
So are you actually going to go to Chernobyl, or are you the power plant, or are you just going to Pripyat?
You can't go into the sarcophagus, but you can see it.
Well, you can.
You can. It's very advised again.
We are flying into Kiev and being in Pripyat.
Alright, who needs what bus?
I think I've got all of them.
I've got the ones that matter. Oh, I need a grease
All
spot.
matter.
Yeah, I need a grease spot. Oh. WoW is locking up on me.
Everyone left me.
I just disconnected.
Oh.